2,000 points of Tau are reinforcing 2,000 points of Catachan jungle fighters, who have decided enough with the Death Wells, enough with the Imperium. This greater good thing sounds pretty cushy, so let's give it a go, because you know what? Half the Tau don't die before they learn to walk, and half again before the age of 10.
That's it, I'm out of here.
To crush this nascent rebellion, the Imperium are sending in forces that won't waver in annihilating their former fellow servants of the Emperor. Let's trust that the red thirst of the Blood Angels will ensure a devotion to destruction, and the Sons of Sanguinius are going Ironstorm's Spearhead to counter the Tau mechs. And the Death Korps of Krieg will take the defection personally, as it reminds them of their own homeworld's shameful act of rebellion, and will similarly offer no quarter. Okay, so we pulled two tables together to get a nice big battlefield on which to conduct this massive conflict. Lots of ruins, so you're behind them, you're in obscuring, you're in them, you can shoot out, be shot at, but you get cover if your save is 4 up against AP0, and if you are 6 inches up, you get plunging fire. Deployment is appropriately hammer and anvil. The primary mission is appropriately scorched earth. It seems we're not just out to kill the enemy, but erase their objectives as well. The mission rule is delayed reserves. Okay, so when they see the size of the force coming their way, the Tau deploy interceptor drones in orbit to ward off additional troops while they deal with what's already landed. Of course, this means they end up hampering the reinforcements of their Catachan allies, which they were unaware of. Starting us off, a Librarian Dreadnought lurking in the back as my slingshot deployment machine and last-minute melee intervention specialist. Catachan dropping a Manticore bristling with jumbo warheads. The Krieg retort with a Basilisk. The Tau bring in a broadside. The Sons of Sanguinius deploy a squad of aggressors with an apothecary biologist to give them lethal hits. A Leman Russ on the starting line revving his engines. A pair of bombast artillery pieces in obscuring for relentless indirect fire. Crisis battlesuits led by a commander in a Cold Star on the far end. 6 eradicators, because I have a feeling I'm going to need some armor melting might. A Catachan single Scout Sentinel, and the Death Korps will see your Scout Sentinel and raise you 1 Scout Sentinel. Pathfinders with a recon drone infiltrate into a ruin and set up a forward outpost for the vile Xenos. The Blood Angels drop in a unit of Devastators, and because they knew they were going up against a vehicle-heavy force, they all grabbed grav weapons from the armory before making planetfall. Tank Commander with a Demolisher Cannon.
My favourite.
3 Bullgrims stomp forward and lurk behind a cargo container. A Breacher team over by the Pathfinders. A Baal Predator with flamers and a Flamestorm cannon. A Riptide right up front to get stuck in early. Another Krieg Scout Sentinel over by the Predator. And some Kassakin. Now a Gladiator Lancer. A unit of Tau Tetras over by the Manticore to give hit rerolls to any nearby Tau. The Death Korps rumble in a Leman Russ with an Exterminator. Another Catachan Tank Commander with Demolisher. And another Baal Predator. Devilfish with a belly full of breachers. Some Attilan Rough Riders up front. And now the big boy. A Baneblade backing up the Riptide. I deploy a Redemptor Dreadnought. Another Riptide drops in, and there's a Leman Russ with Vanquisher. And now a couple more Tetras, another Redemptor Dreadnought. One of them has the Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon, the other the Macro Plasma Incinerator. Traitor Catachan Regimental Engine Seer with the Baneblade, which has to be a bit daunting. Here, we want you to look after, repair and maintain that. Loyal Krieg Regimental Engine Seer with the Vanquisher, Shadow Sun drops in by the Baneblade, and all those Engine Seers inspired me, so a Tech Marine to tend my Gladiator with the enhancement of Adept of the Omnissiah. Devilfish number 2 with more breaches inside. Oops, distracted telling tales of previous games, so anywho, another Tau thing that I didn't catch the name of on the near flank. Another Tech Marine in the far corner to tend the Redemptor with target augury web for lethal hits on the Dreadnought. And that's me fully deployed, and I have a Death Company Dreadnought in reserve. Okay, now in come the rest of the Imperial Guard. The Catachan have a guy calling himself Lord Solar with a command squad embedded within a unit, and they fall in by the back line. A Krieg Lehman Russ with another squad of Catachan jungle fighters, and a guy in a gas mask on a horse with a name label saying "Honest, I am Lord Solar," with a unit of Krieg and a command squad with Vox and Medic. Armoured Sentinel by the Redemptor, more Catachan in the back, and another squad of Krieg boldly up front. More Catachan jungle fighters by the Baneblade, blissfully ignorant of the tracks, but maybe reassured by the fact that the giant tank will be drawing all the fire instead of them. And a few more Rough Riders to back up the Krieg, and a final squad of Catachan in reserve. Right, redeploys from the two Lord Solars. A Catachan tank commander on the far side goes into reserve. Scout moves. Catachan sentinels duck into cover. A Kassakin squad redeploy by the big pink thing on the near flank. Krieg scout sentinel in the back rushes out towards the Rough Riders. The Loyalists win the roll-off, and
here we go.
Now, for the sake of time and to avert boredom from spectating for long stretches, we are going to conduct some combat simultaneously, and with everyone talking and the background noise from the other games going on, I'll have to summarise some of the other ones as I can't quite hear all the details of what's going on. Right, drawing secondaries. We get secure no man's land and defend stronghold. The latter can't be played on turn 1. So we draw a replacement and Stronghold gets shuffled back into the deck for later in the game. We get Tempting Target instead. The Xenos pick the far blue objective marker for us to try and take. Redemptors both stomp forward, accompanied by their tech marines. The Lancer is going to risk a shootout with the Baneblade.
Are you crazy? The man has a gun!
Don't ever call me crazy, Alan.
Undeterred, it glides out from obscuring to get a firing line down the middle. The Bullgrin and the near Krieg infantry take cover. The Rough Riders and the Sentinel near them both get move. The Rough Riders rush onto the tempting target. Scout Sentinel makes a run for the central objective and advances to get onto it. The Librarian calls up the wings of Sanguinius and teleports the Eradicators onto the near no man's land objective, and they oath of moment the Riptide. The Riptide opts to fire Overwatch on them. Main weapon fails to wound, missile pods miss, smart missile launchers, they get a wound. Vanquisher moves forward a little to get a bead on the Baneblade. Melter rifles on the Riptide, toughness 9, strength 9 with rerolls on everything. 3 AP -4 hits, fail 1, reroll the damage, 7 damage, down to 7 wounds. Multi-melters, 3 AP -4, saves them all. Now, it's a good job in a way that I botched this, because I have since been edified that melter range is 9 inches, and Wings of Sanguinius says they are placed more than 9 inches away. Some delicate wording, but important because it means they don't get melter range when they are teleported in. The Apothecary fires his pistol, AP -1, saved. The Exterminator goes for the Baneblade. Fails to wound, oof, not good. Macroplasma Annihilator, supercharged. 3 shots on the Devilfish, 1 AP -4, 3 damage. Vanquisher on the Baneblade, and it misses. Oh dear, oh dear.
That ain't so good.
Gladiator on the Baneblade. Lancer Destroyer, 2 shots, toughness 13, strength 14. With rerolls, 1 hit, AP -4, 6 damage. Bombasts pound the Pathfinders, fails to wound. Basilisk on the Pathfinders. 2 AP -2, 1 goes through, 2 damage, and they are shaken. Charging. The Eradicators are massively exposed and rolled awful, even with the rerolls, utterly failing to deliver the early heavy Sunday punch I was hoping for them to decapitate the Tau by killing off some leadership. 9-inch charge to try and get them into combat and out of the blizzard of fire they are about to receive, and 8. They fail.
That could have been better.
5 victory points for taking the tempting target. 2 no man's land objectives are under our control, so another 5 victory points, and so both secondaries are fulfilled. For secondary missions, they get Secure No Man's Land and Overwhelming Force. The Ethereal meditates as he gives the breachers Ignore Wound Loss, and they gain a command point. But meditating on the battlefield? This is neither the time nor the place, but maybe...
Potter, what are you doing?
It's a Buddhist meditation technique. Focuses your aggression. The monks used to do it before they went into battle.
Lord Solar tells the Baneblade to take aim, the Catachan move and fix bayonets, Tank Commander tells the Scout Sentinel to move it, Ursula Creed tells her lot to take aim. The Pathfinders are shaken, and that -2 move cost them greatly, because they fall just short of being able to get onto and contest the objective. Catachan in the foreground rush around the ruin and take position behind the cargo container. Actually, they'll advance. They get a 3, so they fall just short of getting onto it, and because they advanced, they now can't charge to get onto it. Devilfish advances towards the objective and disgorges a bunch of breachers onto the formerly tempting target. The tank commander rumbles forth towards the stranded eradicators. Breachers run into the ruins. Sentinel rushes over and stands in front of the Baneblade, well aware that all incoming fire is going to be going over his head. Crisis Lot and the Lehman Russ all thunder forward and the Tetras follow them in. The Devilfish in the middle glides over to the far ruin with Tetras following it. Shadow Sun moves between the Crisis and the other pink thing. Broadside and the other Crisis step out from cover. Breachers attack, guided by the Devilfish, going for the Rough Riders. The Lehman Russ with the Exterminator takes aim at the Eradicators, who don their armour of contempt. 4 shots, toughness 6, strength 8, 2 wounding hits, 2 wounds, AP -3, no hazardous, 2 damage, kills the wounded Eradicator. 2 Rough Riders die and another drops to 1 wound. The Heavy Stubber, saved. The Las Cannon, misses. The Exterminator, twin-linked, strength 9, re-rolling to wound, 2 go through, another perishes. Withering Howl for an extra point of AP. Second volley in the back kills the wounded Rough Rider, and the breachers wipe out the unit. 2 command points and they go into reserve, having faithfully served the Emperor in taking the secondaries. Baneblade, the Flamers are out of range. The Crisis suit goes for the Central Scout Sentinel, only the Plasma is in range. 2 shots, hitting on 3s, AP -3, fails. Volcano Cannon on the Gladiator, Las Cannon on the Redemptor, and Bolters on the Eradicators. 3 shots, I pop smoke, 3 hits, toughness 10, AP -5, 12 damage each. The Gladiator is vaporized, and only later did I realise...
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
The Tech Marine has a depth of the Omnissiah, so I could have used that to reduce the Volcano Cannon hit to 0. That was a very, very costly mistake. I guess he was so awed watching the devastating weapon do its thing that he was too enraptured to act. But wait, hold on a minute. It's only 1 attack, and I got hit by 3. So if the Baneblade had rolled lower on the hits, I might have stood a chance, but even dropping 1 to 0, the other 2 would have easily completed the kill, so never mind. Las Cannon, 2 auto wounds from fallen soldiers, strength 12, toughness 10, 3 wounding hits, AP -3, all go through, 8 wounds. Bolters, twin linked and sustained, 2 hits, AP -1, 2 damage each, another Eradicator perishes. Mortar from the rear into the Krieg behind the Rough Riders in the foreground. Kills 1, and because this unit has Ursula Creed in it, she uses her free battle tactic Strat for overlapping fields of fire, meaning anyone targeting this unit gets an extra point of AP. The Manticore uses this and kills 2 more. Fusion blasters, missile drones, and other high-tech nonsense from the Riptide and the Pink Thing and the Broadside. They take the Eradicators down to a single wounded apothecary biologist who now gets wicked high occupant control. Demolisher by the Devilfish in the back, Las Cannon and Stubber on my last guy, killing him. Demolisher on the Central Scout Sentinel fails to do anything. Scout Sentinel, Hunter Killer and Plasma at the Dreadnought. Missile misses. Supercharged Plasma, 1 shot, strength 8 to toughness 10, fails to wound. No hazardous though. Okay, Overwhelming Force gets them 5 victory points and Secure No Man's Land gets them 2. Investigate signals is our next secondary. Capture enemy outpost comes up next, and yes, we spend a command point to ditch that, and instead we get defend stronghold. The Tech Marine does some quick repairs on the Redemptor, and we get 10 primary victory points. Bullgreen, move, and then...
We're gonna get
What did you just do?
the tape measure just exploded.
Oh wow! What?
Take measure roll to 1 on hazardous.
Hey-o. Do we have a spare?
Take cover on the Scout Sentinel as he starts to burn the objective. He needs to hold it until its next command phase for this to work. Take aim on the Exterminator, take cover on the mortar and missile pummeled Krieg, and the Medipack restores 3 of them to active duty. Move orders go on the Rough Riders. Redemptor and Tech Marine march forward on the far end of the battlefield. The other one stomps forward with his Master of the Mechanical Stuff steadfastly behind him in tow. Bullgreen rush the far objective. Armoured Sentinel moves out, Rough Riders in the front. They gallop forward and ready to charge the Kassakin, and the squad behind them move into the building. The Librarian teleports the Grav Cannon armed Devastator squad with their Thunderhammer Sergeant atop a ruin so they can get some plunging fire on the Baneblade. And Oath of Moment goes on the Jumbo tank, which responds by popping smoke. On the Sire's Blessing on the Vanquisher, rapid ingress. Tank Commander makes the roll because of delayed reserves and returns to the fray, dropping in by the blue objective in the back. The Sentinel lasers the Pathfinders, the Kassakin toss a melter mine, but roll a 1, so it misses. Artillery and Redemptor Gatling Cannon on the Pathfinders on the blue objective, everything else on that Baneblade. The Devastators on their plunging fire perch, anti-vehicle, so 2 up to wound, 12 AP minus 2. 5 go through, doing 3 damage each, down to 4 wounds it goes. Plasma Incinerator, 6 shots, toughness 18, 4 AP minus 4 hits, invuln save, fails 2, 3 each, down goes the Baneblade. Grav Cannon for the win. In the background, the Death Korps artillery take out all but 2 Pathfinders near the central objective. The Rough Riders open fire on the Kassakin, killing 1. Gatling Cannon try to clear the blue objective of residence. Heavy Gatling, toughness 3 but minus 1 to wound, 6s are devastating, 3 6s and 3 AP 0 hits. 3 ups, all save, but 3 kills nonetheless. Onslaught Gatling Cannon, 1 devastating, 2 normal, 1 more kill. Stormbolter, twin Fragstorm grenade launchers, 7 remain. Should have fired that first because it's blast, a 1, so 2 shots, 1 wounding hit, saved. The Icarus rocket pod, another 1, an AP minus 1, saved. Vanquisher goes for the Scout Sentinel heading for the orange central objective and carves it apart. The other Redemptor with the Incinerator uses the rest of his weapons, the Onslaught Gatling Cannon, 5 AP 0s, 3 kills, Icarus 3 shots, 2 AP minus 1, 5 ups, both foul. Twin Stormbolters on the last 2 breaches, 2 wounding hits, no AP, another alien perishes. The Tau spend a command point and toss a photon grenade at the Bullgrim, minus 2 to the charge and the battle shot test. The Bullgrim passed the test, 5-inch charge goes to 7, but these lads didn't skip leg day at the Imperial gym and they make it and engage the foe. The Rough Riders make the charge and engage the Kassakin, and the Riptide fires Overwatch. Heavy burst cannon, 1 hit, fails to wound. Missile pods, 2 6s, 1 AP minus 2, 2 damage, a Rough Rider dies. Missile launcher, 1 hit, fails to wound. Redemptor needs to roll 2 6s to charge the Devilfish.
It might happen. Yeah, and monkeys might fly out of my butt.
A 3. Rough Riders kill 3 Kassakin on the charge. Kassakin fight back, 6 hits, 4 wounds, AP 0, awful armor save. 1 kill, 1 of them is wounded. Power weapon, 2 wounds, AP minus 2, kills the wounded rider and wounds another. Bullgrin attempt to whomp the Devilfish with their maws. 12 attacks, 11 hits, strength 7, 5 ups to wound, 4 AP minus 1, 4 damage, 6 remain. Fighting back, they try to run them over, but it floats, so I don't know, whatever it's using to fly pummels anything under it. Anywho, 3 attacks, all hit, 1 wounding hit, no AP, saved, and the Bullgrin are at least engaged for now. Defend Stronghold, the Tech Marine on the home objective gets us 3 victory points, the 2 tanks in the corners investigated signals, so 4 victory points. The Alien Menace get capture enemy outpost and investigate signals, a command point to ditch outpost and they instead get storm hostile objective. 5 primary for holding the home objective. As the battle rages, artillery howls down from above and tanks explode and people are burned alive, the Ethereal puts in earplugs and meditates successfully for a command point. Battle shock. Pathfinders fail, Breacher team fail, orders go out all over the place from Ursula and the Lord Solar and the tank commanders. Broadside moves forward, the smaller pink thing moves towards the central objective, Shadow Sun follows it, falling in behind the mech. The Riptide boldly jumps onto the cargo containers to do some muscle man flexes and poses and seek to intimidate the Imperials. The Devilfish falls back away from the Bullgrin towards the other fish behind the ruin. Wait, what? Tau want to focus on ranged and get out of melee as soon as possible?
Say it ain't so.
Crisis suits rush the central objective, the Engine Seer moves towards the tank and the Lehman Russ onto the nearest no man's land objective. The Pathfinders move onto the blue objective but they are battle shocked and so can't claim it just yet. Tank Commander moves closer to the Bullgrin, getting onto the objective and readying to try and squash the big fellas. The Kassakin fall back onto the objective. With all that's going on, the Tau get distracted and roll for the meditate, forgetting that they have already gained one from it, and so they accidentally get another command point. The second Devilfish moves up the far flank. The destroyed Scout Sentinel that had gone into reinforcements returns to the field of battle by the Devilfish, but the 9 inches from the Bullgrin leaves it out of range to laze anything. But wait, we didn't roll because of delayed reserves, and so it's all moot, the roll fails, it's delayed and stays in reserves. But rapid ingress, the Krieg make the roll to deploy and the Rough Riders emerge on the far table edge ready for more explosive lance charges. A roll for a unit of Catachan. Success! They tie their red bandanas and charge forth onto the far table edge. The tank commander blasts the newly arrived reinforcements of Rough Riders with his demolisher, killing 2. Stubbers and Hunter Killer and Las Cannon and Multi-Melters only succeed in killing 1 more. 13 AP -3 on the Grav fellas. Awful armour save, they are wiped out to an Astartes, but they totally nailed the Baneblade, so worth every point. The Redemptor pops smoke as he's targeted, and takes 3 wounds, Duty Eternal drops it to 2. Shadow Sun guides the little Pinky, which I discover now is a ghost kill, and it targets the Scout Sentinel in the middle. Mortar on the Dreadnought so Ursula can hopefully get fields of fire on it, as everyone else then tries to take it out. 1 hit saved, but the strat is activated, so +1 AP from here on out. Shadow Sun wipes out the Rough Riders, and they go into reserve with the strat. The Catachan reinforcements take advantage of the active stratagem, and they all open up on the Redemptor. Reinforcements counts as having moved, so they should have lost Born Soldiers, but we missed that. But they didn't roll any 6s anyway, so whatever. No harm, no foul. In the middle, Demolisher on the Redemptor, 4 shots, AP -3, 2 go through, 2d6, 7 damage, down to 5. He just about survives. But to try and thwart this, command point reroll on the damage. But it's even worse! He's actually better off than he would have been. Tau shoot up the Krieg in the ruin closest to us, which I think we forgot about last turn because I don't think they actually shot. With plasma snipers and the Psyker and other decent weapons in there, they should have been able to do something. Anywho, never mind. They also open up on the Scout Sentinel, and against all odds, everything either misses or he saves. What a champ! Autocannon Lehman Russ on the Crosshairs objective goes for the central Redemptor with the main gun, everything else on the Scout Sentinel. 3 wounds, AP 0, foul 2, 2 damage, down to 5 wounds he goes. Las Cannon hits but fails to wound. Melters, a 1, a 1, a 3. They all miss. The Sentinel remains and continues his mission. Riptide, everything into the far Redemptor, 4 damage, down to 3 he goes. Broadside on the central Redemptor. It chips away and the final hit fails to do enough to kill it, but command point reroll with their last command point, and that is sufficient to finish him, which, because of the double meditate, shouldn't be there. This was their last command point, and they actually gained an extra one where they shouldn't have. No command points means there would have been no reroll. The Redemptor would have survived that attack and then been repaired by the Tech Marine and at least get off another barrage before becoming a bullet magnet again. Anywho, down goes the Redemptor and the Tech Marine gets all mad.
Look what they did to my boy! They massacred my boy!
Manticore on the aggressors, all the way in the back waiting to be teleported in. 2 hits, 1 wounding hit, AP-2, saved. Breachers unload on the Bullgrin, but no luck thanks to Wall of Muscle and the Invuln save. Such an awesome combo. Okay, technical glitch here that eats the next few clips. I've looked it up and it's something that happens. The file is still full size and the audio plays, but the image is frozen. I think it's a specific battery, as when this happens it only happens once per game, which suggests it's a squiffy battery, and the files start working again with footage of me changing out said battery. Anywho, as I investigate this...
You'd best put seatbelts on your ears, Roy, because I'm going to take them for the ride of their lives.
The Lehman Russ tries to charge the Redemptor 7 inches, but it fails. Catachan try to charge the Bullgrin 9 inches, fails again, but this one they attempt the reroll, which fails again. Melee is denied. Tank Commander tries to charge the Sentinel to get it off the objective before it burns it. Boxcars. Wow. And it's OC3 versus OC2, so the traitors successfully stop the burn. Tank Tracks saved. Chainsaw fight back. 1 wounding hit, AP-1, goes through. No one was investigating signals, so no victory points there. Storm hostile objective, 5 victory points. For secondaries, we get no prisoners and deploy Teleport Homer. 5 primary victory points for holding the home objective. Death Company Dreadnought comes in from reserves and drops in by the ruin in Obscuring. 3 Krieg are restored to active duty with the Medipack. The Librarian Dreadnought slings the aggressors up onto the 2nd floor in the back, where they will get some plunging fire down onto the Catachan, the Command Squad and Lord Solar. And with no one left to teleport, the bold Boxnaut then clomps out of cover and gets ready to get into the fray. The 2 Baal Predators emerge and advance. They thunder forward and the reserve Rough Riders pop in and aim for the Kassakin and the Riptide. Armoured Sentinel makes a rush for the centre to assist the beleaguered Scout Sentinel, who apparently has some sort of one-up invuln save, because he has survived everything that has been thrown at him. Oath of Moment on the Tank Commander, and therefore the Redemptor Toughness 11, 1 AP-4, fails. 3 damage, 2 AP-2, saved. Onslaught, 2 devastating wounds, grenade launcher, saved. Armoured Sentinel launches a Hunter Killer and opens up on the Tau. The Baal Predator on the Catachan reinforcements on the far side of the field. They are infantry, so even though it advanced, it gets assault on them. 5 AP-2 hits, no save, so 5 kills. Heavy Flamers, 9 AP-1 wounding hits, 7 kills. Stormbolter, 1 hit, 1 miss, fails to wound. The angry Tech Marine shoots his grav pistol at the tank, 1 AP-1, saved. The Librarian Dreadnought, free of his Wings of Sanguinious duties, he diverts his Psychic Might and uses Blood Lance on the tank, 1 AP-3, so the 4-up invuln from the Engine Seer, saved. Librarian Melter, 1 AP-4, the invuln fails, and he does 6 damage. The other Baal Predator hoses the Kassakin. Again, they are infantry, so I can roast them even though I advanced, and so try to get them off the objective. 4 AP-2 with the Flamestorm, 1 save and 3 are burned alive. Heavy Flamers, 8 AP-1, they all vanish amidst roiling sheets of searing flame, and there's not enough CP to use reinforcements. The accompanying Engine Seer gets a Stormbolter in rapid fire, 2 AP-0 hits, both failed, 2 damage, down to 1 wound he goes. I get an update from the other side of the battlefield. The Krieg officially achieved nothing. Okay, Hunter Killer from the far Baal Predator into the Devilfish. 1 AP-3, hits, 6 damage, and it has 6 wounds remaining. destroyed by a whisker. Other hunter-killer from the Baal Predator into the Riptide, another wounding hit, fails the save, command point reroll, saved. Charging, Baal Predator rams the tank in the middle and uses tank shock. The armoured Sentinel charges the same tank and is also planning on tank shock. The Sentinel and the Predator get 4 mortal wounds, taking it to 2, then armoured tracks, 3 AP0 hits, 1 foul, down to 1 wound. It's all on the Sentinel. The armoured chainsaw hacks into the Lehman Russ, chewing up nothing but paint job as the Scout instead deploys a teleport Homer. Redemptor charges the tank commander, so he's going to be getting a death befitting an officer right in the face. Toughness 11, Strength 12, 5 AP-2 hits, 2 fouls, 6 damage. The Tech Priest also engages. It's all onto the Omnisire to save the day. He's enraged from losing the other Redemptor. 1 AP-2, saved. Servo Arm, 1 AP-2, saved. Okay, now it's down to the unit of Rough Riders to finish the job. The Lances detonate the tank commander, but as the tank erupts, it lets off a final retaliatory barrage. Demolisher on the Redemptor. 2 shots, I'm going to pop smoke because there is a chance he could survive. 1 AP-3, save fouls, D6 damage, 4. Melters, both miss because of the smoke. The las cannon misses. The Stubber, 1 wound, AP0, saved. The tank commander fails to explode. The Dreadnought endures. The aggressors up in the ruin go for the Catachan, so multiple blasts against 15 jungle fighters, 12 AP-1, 6 up saves, 3 saves, 20 more shots, 14 AP-1. Because this is on Lord Solar's unit, we're going to slow roll this. First shot saved, second takes out the mortar team, then the remaining 7 chew up the rest and take Lord Solar down to 6 wounds. The aggressors attempt to charge to finish him off, and they fail. They fail to just jump down from the 2nd floor and engage.
Come on! Jump!
The Scout Sentinel deployed a teleport Homer for 3 victory points and no prisoners. 5 units killed, so we max it out at 5 victory points. The secondaries are behind enemy lines and tempting targets, so with the Bullgrin, a Redemptor and a Tech Marine on the far objective, we opt for that. Primaries, they pick up 10. The Ethereal meditates and gets a command point. Lord Solar has lost his Vox caster, so his orders are now a lot shorter range. 1 Devilfish advances, the other falls back from the Bullgrin. The delayed reserves thing is no longer active. Okay, swapping out the battery, we are up and running again. Looks like there was some stuff that occurred that wasn't on the audio. This battle was a month ago. I'd started a new job at the Department of Veteran Affairs, then got told my landlord was selling the place I'm renting. I tried to buy, found out there was a $500 a month HOA, so fuck that. Then I had to move everything, unpack everything. Then took me a bit to get back to this battle, and I can't recall it all as freshly as when it happened.
Oh yeah! Cry me a river! Cry me a river!
Looks like a Scout Sentinel got brought back. These guys all moved in, the Riptide stopped posing and jumped down from the container onto the objective, but other than that, everything looks pretty much as it was. Tetras are OC2 and move on to that central objective and start burning it. Ghost Keel moves into 12 inches from the central targets. Shadow Sun stays put.
Coward.
The Breachers that just disembarked the Devilfish open fire on the Redemptor, who throws up Armour of Contempt, and the remaining Catachan next to them go for the Rough Riders. 15 pulse shots hitting on 2s, Strength 6 versus Toughness 10 with a reroll and sustained. 8 wounding hits, AP-1 down to AP0 for the armour, 2 ups, all saved. Another 15 shots, 2 more from sustained hits, 9 wounding hits, all saved. Pulse pistols. Now, I questioned whether these could be used in addition to the other ranged weapons, but it might be a fudgy Tau thing, so I just went with it and asked the community afterwards. Yep, you either shoot pistols or your other stuff, so this shouldn't have gone off. Meanwhile, the Rough Riders are cut down by intense lasfire from the Catachan and finished off with Iron Hand Strachan's trusty auto shotgun. 20 pistol shots, 5 AP0, 1 damage goes through. Drones, 6 shots hitting on 4s, 3 hits, they need 6s but they have a reroll, 2 6s both saved. He's on 2 wounds and hanging in there. And then 2 more misses. Command point for power of the machine spirits to jump in and open up. -1 to wound, but the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon roars. 3s to wound, devastating on 6s, and I get 3 of them, in addition to 2 normal wounds. I make 1, fail 1, plus the devastating, 4 die. Onslaught Gatling cannon, 3 devastating and 1 normal hit with no AP. It goes through. Icarus rocket pod, D3 shots, 2 of them, both hit, strength 8, 1 wounding hit, AP -1, saved. Twin storm bolters within rapid fire, 4 bloody 2s, yeesh. The new reinforcement scout sentinel, hunter killer into the Bullgrin. The missile streaks through the air and wedges into a brute shield and fails to go off. Riptide into the aggressors, guided by the Tetras. Nova reactor engages, 2 devastating wounds, 7 normal, AP -1, 3 go through, 2 damage each. Devastating kills 1, 1 more dies and another is wounded. 4 shots, missile drones with rerolls. 3 hits, 2 wounds, AP -2, fail. The wounded Space Marine perishes and another is wounded. Twin missile system, 4 shots, 1 hit, no AP, saved. Manticore into the Krieg squad in the building, gets 2 kills. The Exterminator fires their main weapon on the Redemptor, everything else on the Krieg in the ruin. Ghost kill, guided by a Shadow Sun, on the central Baal Predator who pops smoke. 2 wounding hits, AP -4, save fails, 6 damage. 2 more hits, but both fail to wound. Exterminator on the Redemptor, he's bracketed but hasn't moved for some fallen soldiers. 4 wounds, AP -1, 2 go through. The Redemptor's duty is finally at an end, but he does not explode. Devilfish on the Bullgrin, 4 shots with sustained, 7 hits, strength 5 versus toughness 6, twin linked. 4 wounds, no AP, 3 damage, kills 1, wounds another. Breachers, 2 hits, 2 wounds, AP -1, 1 goes through. Catachan, shoot the aggressors, 2 hits, AP 0, saved. 2 hits, Lord Solar, strength 8, 2 wounding hits, AP -2, kills 2 more. The Central Riptide, guided by Pathfinder, 6 shots, overcharged ion, 1 miss, exploding 6s, strength 8, 6 wounding hits, AP -3, 1 save, 5 go through, 4 damage each, wipes out the aggressor squad. That's what you get for failing the charge, dickheads. Engine Seer shoots a Krieg, broadside on the Baal Predator, both miss. Shadow Sun on the Armoured Sentinel, 2 fusion energy blasters, strength 10, 2 wounding hits, AP -4, a feeble roll. Command point reroll, takes it to 1 wound. Light missile pod, both fail to wound. Flechette launcher, 5 shots, all hit, no exploding 6s, 2 wounds, no AP. Both go through, he is destroyed, and he does explode. The Crisis, guided by Tetras, plasma, all on the furthest Baal Predator. The commander is within 12 inches on the lone operative Tech Marine, and so will shoot him. Everyone else goes for the Bullgrin with their Cyclics. Plasma, 10 shots, re-rolling, everything that's not a 6 to get the biggest hit possible. Strength 8, 3 AP -3, all go through, 9 damage. Down to 2 wounds goes the Predator, but it's still in the fray. Commander misses his other weapons. 7 wounding hits, AP -1, 2 go through. The Tech Marine goes down to 2 wounds. The remaining cyclic shots on the Bullgrin. 6 wounding hits, AP -1, kills the last of the Bullgrin on the objective. Lehman Russ fires melters and las cannon at the Baal Predator in the middle. The main gun at the Scout Sentinel, 1 wounding hit, AP -4, 8 damage, destroyed. I spend a command point for Vengeful Animus for auto-deadly demise. 2 wounds in reprisal, destroying it, and doing a wound on the Scout Sentinel, but whatever. The destroyed tank fails to detonate. Las cannon before he detonates takes out the little Scout Sentinel that almost could. Catachan charge the Tech Marine, as 7 they make it. Breachers charging them as well to swamp the objective, but they fail the roll. Engine Seer makes a 10-inch charge into the Krieg in the ruin, pump those piston legs. Lord Solar 9-inch charge on the Death Company Dreadnought, fails. Scout Sentinel tries to charge the Dreadnought, fails.
Let enter.
Catachan on the Tech Marine, they charged, so +1 strength, +1 AP, and lethal hits from Iron Hand Strachan, and they kill him and consolidate onto the objective. The Engine Seer enraged, so extra attacks, 3 wounding hits, AP-2, kills the Primaris Psyker and the last sniper, who all go into reinforcements. Tempting target is controlled, so 5 victory points for that, and behind enemy lines. No score, so they discard it and get a command point. We get Engage on all fronts and Assassination as secondaries.
Nice.
5 primary for the home objective. The Death Company Dreadnought closes in on Lord Solar. Overcharged engines and the Predator wheels around the Catachan to get on the objective and draw its flamers on the infantry. Tau Overwatch on it. 1 wounding hit, AP-3, 3 damage. Destroyed, just as he was about to incinerate the whole squad and claim the objective.
Denied.
The Librarian Dreadnought jogs forward with the Tech Marine in tow. The Krieg Lord Solar moves forward with his squad. Bullgreen and Scout Sentinel and Rough Riders move forward towards the Riptide and Ghost Kill, currently occupying the objective. The Rough Rider reinforcements appear in the far left corner and level their lances at the Manticore, which overwatches, killing one of them. And a Death Korps infantry unit drops in next to them. Scout Sentinel paints the Riptide, Librarian Dreadnought on the tank in the middle. Psychic attack, a 6, so sustained goes off, an extra 2 shots, but only one of them hits, AP-3, fails the armor save, 7 damage. Melter, an AP-4 hit, fails the save, not in melter range, but 6 damage. Assassinated, he does not explode, but death befitting an officer will go off. Targeting the Bullgreen, kills 2 of them, but multi-melters on the Librarian because he's so close, well, they successfully destroy him. Vanquisher and Exterminator on the central Riptide. They do some good damage and get it to 1 wound, but fail to kill it. But then, the Hunter Killers, 1 AP-3, saved. Dreadnought on the Riptide, can he finish it off? Fails to wound, reroll, fails again. Stormbolter, 1 AP-0, it's saved. Basilisk on the 1 wound Riptide occupying the home objective. Fails to wound. Tech Marine pistol at the tank, Saving Private Ryan style. One AP-1, fails the armor save, 2 damage. Wait, this one's already dead, we just forgot to remove the wreck. So I just shot up a burning shell. Wonderful, I'll chalk that one up to the Red Thirst or the Black Rage. Wow, why does Horus look like a burning Lehman Russ battle tank? Better shoot him. Anyway, Lord Solar and his boys open fire on the Catachan on the far no man's land objective, killing a few of them. The Krieg Reinforcement Squad, Primaris Psyker, Witchfire on the Riptide, 9 shots, strength 6 versus toughness 9, 6 is the devastating, down goes the Riptide amidst the howl of Emperor's flashlight fire. And this was a flub on the Death Korps' behalf. Characters don't come back with reinforcements, so the Psyker would have remained dead in the ruins where he was previously cut down. Anywho, 9-inch charge for the Rough Riders. The Death Company Dreadnought wonders why Horus Lupercal is wearing a red bandana and riding a horse, but undeterred by such thoughts, he wades in. 4 AP-3, 3 go through the invuln, 3 damage each. Lord Solar and his steed are ripped apart. Rough Riders charge the Riptide, as does the Sentinel, which spends a command point for tank shock, doing a mortal wound. 5 Melter Lances, +1 to wound, strength 9 against toughness 9, AP-4, 6 damage. The lances punch deep into the armoured torso of the Riptide and the shaped charges detonate, gouging through the torso, hollowing out the armoured suit with waves of explosive force. The Riptide collapses to the ground and the Rough Riders consolidate towards the Ghost Kill. Engage on all fronts is maxed at 5 victory points. Assassinate, we took down Lord Solar and the tank commander, so 5 victory points. If only my Predator had hosed that infantry, that would have killed Iron Hands and so might have got all the Catachan characters and another 5 victory points. The Xenos get cleanse and engage on all fronts and 10 victory points for their primary. So let's take a look at the score. Okay, we mutually agree to call it here. Right, things learned and flubs to remember for next time. Wings of Sanguinius drops you out of multi-melter range when you have the option to reduce an attack to 0 and you get hit by a strength 24 AP minus 5 damage 12 attack. Maybe you want to do it! So we have a lot of contenders for MVP. The Redemptors were great, the Devastators with Grav Cannon were amazing, but for this game, that humble solitary Scout Sentinel that occupied the centre objective and absorbed an absolutely appalling amount of incoming heavy fire before going down. Actually, the pilot was probably long dead from the first hit, and his body was just laying on the controls convulsing, making the Sentinel twitch and appear functioning, so everyone just kept blasting at it. The ferocious, almost unhinged assault of the Blood Angels breaks the enemy lines, allowing the Death Korps of Krieg to pour in and overwhelm the survivors as a Death Company dreadnought marches through the rear lines, bellowing with all-consuming rage as his claws gouge left and right, dissecting the foe with superlative ease in an insane imaginary quest to kill that can never be fulfilled. The Death Korps advance over the shattered crimson armour of the Astartes and show no mercy as they pound the remnants of the traitors and their Xenos allies alike. Artillery fire rains down, ripping up the land, shredding flesh and tearing through armour. Volleys of lasfire streak out and control of the orbital drones is suddenly fractured. With the defending gauntlet robbed of guidance, Imperial forces are free to commence their landing, and they commit with all their potency. Crimson drop pods howl through the clouds and slam into the seared battlefield. Ramps fall open and Blood Angels charge out, their bolters chattering. Squadrons of Death Korps tanks crest the hills and begin to pour explosive hatred into the foe. The Imperial forces levy vitriol and heavy fire, and within the hour, every Tau lays dead, and every Catachan who sought to embrace their vile creed joins them in their well-earned fate. As red blood and blue ichor flow from the corpses and cracked armour, images of the slaughter are captured, framed to convey the cost of wavering loyalty to the Imperium of man and to warn of the horrors that will be visited on those who succumb to the seduction of Xenos lies. Anywho, my first 8,000 point game, tons of fun. If possible, targeting Tetras early to get rid of those high intensity Markalites and the rerolls might be wise. We should have concentrated fire on the Baneblade and tried to take it out in round 1, but I wanted to try and decap some Tau High Command. Leman Russes, indirect artillery, gladiators, order redemptors and the eliminators with their multi-melters, they might have got the job done. Actually, now that I can see what they do, Grav Cannon might have been the best to send in first. Save the melters for the other mechs. Hope you enjoyed this battle as much as we had playing it. See you next time.